Starting with our first algorithm of this lecture is quick sort algorithm. As we have discussed in our theory session, in quick sort algorithm, entire array is divided into two parts, that is left partition and right partition. Further on, we are going to process each partitions individually until we found the entire array to be sorted. In this algorithm, we have made few assumptions that we are considering our first element of an array as a key value. We are having two pivot indexes. They are ki index and kj index. We are moving our ki index from left side to right side until we found the larger value than key value. Similarly, we will reduce our kj pointer from right side to left side until we found the smaller value than the key value. Okay, as soon as we found the larger and smaller value from left and right side respectively, we will check whether ki crosses kj or not. It means we will check whether ki is less than kj. If it is so, then we will exchange the elements stored at kith position with the elements stored at kjth position. If meanwhile, if ki and kj crosses each other, it means when the value of ki is greater than kj, at that time we will swap the value of key value with kj element, right? And at this point, the kj element contains the already sorted position. From that particular element, our entire array is divided into two parts. They are considered as left partition and right partition. Okay, and meanwhile we will process both the partitions of our existing array until we find the entire array in sorted order. Okay, so let us start the algorithm step by step. As you can see over here, in my main method, I have taken dynamic array, but you can consider it static also. Let's say I have taken integer a of 15, that means it can store 15 integer elements. Now I am taking the number of elements to be stored in this array. So in this for loop, I am taking elements from the user, I am printing them. At the same time, you can see I have called a function, user defined function for this particular algorithm, that is quick, in which I have passed the address of first element of my array. Instead of this statement, you can simply write a also. Okay, that will represent the starting address of an array. Similarly, the second argument will be the lower bound. Lower bound will be the 0 index of an array, and the third argument will be the upper bound, that is the size minus array. So if I have entered 10 element in my array, then lower bound will be considered as 0 and upper bound will be considered as 9. Okay, from this I will come to the function definition, that is void quick. Now my array will be represented by x, lower bound will be represented by lb, and upper bound will be represented by ub. Similarly, as you can see over here, I have taken integer k that represents the key value. Then ki represents the ki index which travels from left to right. Similarly, the kj pointer which travels from right to left. Next is the flag pointer which tells whether swapping takes place or not. This is the temporary variable for swapping. Okay, first of all, what I will do, I will considering my first element of an array as the key element. That is why I have stored k is equal to x of lb. Similarly, I will put my ka pointer to the left hand side and kj to the right hand side. So I have done the same thing. Ki is equals to lower bound and kj is equals to upper bound, and I will check whether lower bound is less than upper bound or not. This is the primary condition for the further processing. Okay, now I will check whether f is equals to 1. Yes, f is equals to 1, so it will go inside, while x of ki is less or equals to k, it means what? This loop will get executed until I found the larger value than the key value, and up to that point I will increment my ki pointer. So it is ki plus plus. Similarly, one more while loop is there, that is x of kj is greater than k. It means that I need to execute this loop until I found the smaller value than my key element, and I need to reduce my kj pointer from right to left, and at the end of both of these two loop I will compare whether ki is less than kj. If ki is left hand side of kj, then we can say we need to swap the elements stored at ki and kjth position. So I have done the same thing over here. Or else, if it is not the condition, then what could be the condition? Then the next possibility will be ki is greater or equals to 0. It means ki and kj, they have crossed each other. In this case, what we need to do? We need to set our flag to 0. That means now there is no further processing is required, and at the same time we need to swap the element k with kjth element. Okay, so that is what I have done over here. You can see in these three statements what I am doing, I am exchanging the value stored at kjth position with the value stored at lower bound position. That lower bound position value means the key value, right? So in these three statements I am exchanging my key with the value stored at kjth position. Okay. Similarly, you can see over here I am printing the content of array before swapping and the content of array after swapping, right? So after swapping I have put the element into its proper place. I have put the key value to its proper place, and with the help of that placement I have divided my entire array into two parts, that is left partition and the right partition. Okay, so as you can see over here I have printed both of these two partitions also, right? Similarly, what I am doing, I am again calling my function quick function. It means I am recursively calling the quick function for further processing. As I told you earlier, you can simply write x also over here. Okay, so as you can see, the quick sort algorithm is a recursive algorithm in which it recursively process an array. It recursively process the left and right partitions until we find the sorted array. Okay, and at the end I am printing the sorted array in my main method. So let us try to execute the code. Let's say I am entering 8 elements in it: 5, 1, 3, 8, 4, 6, 2, 7. So these are the elements available over here. So initially I will consider my 5 as a key value, and what I need to do, I need to find out the larger value than this 5. So increment ki until I found the larger value. As you can see, I found 8 over here. Similarly, I need to find the smaller value than 5 from right hand side. As you can see, it is 2. So what it means? It means that 2 and 8 should be swapped with each other. So as you can see over here, 8 is replaced with 2, right? And continue the same procedure. If I replace this 8 with 2, then again I need to find out the larger value than 5. So it will be 6. Okay, and from right hand side I need to find out the smallest value, or you can say the smaller value than 5. So that will be 4. So as you can see, now they are swapped, ki and kj are swapped with each other, right? So as you can see, my content is 513, 5132, that is swapping, then 4, 6, 8 and 7. Okay, and it says that the value 5 will be replaced by which element? It will be replaced by kjth element. So where my kj is, kj will be at 4. Fine, because kj will represent the lesser value than key value. So from right hand side I can see 4 is less than 5. So it means 4 and 5 will be swapped with each other. So as you can see over here, 4 and 5 are exchanged with each other. It says that this 5 is placed on its proper position. Okay, and from this we have divided our entire array into two parts. That is, left partition will become 4, 1, 3, 2 and right partition will become 6, 8 and 7. As you can see, 4, 1, 3, 2 and 6, 8, 7. Now similarly, as you know that quicksort algorithm is a recursive kind of algorithm. So we need to treat both of these two partitions as an individual partition. Okay, so whatever logic we have applied for our original, or you can say the main array, the same logic we need to apply for these two partitions, left partition and right partition. Okay, so as you can see over here, initially it is processing the left partition 4, 1, 3, 2. Again I will take the first element as my key element, so 4. Now again I have to find out the larger value than 4 from left hand side. So as you can see, there is no larger value available over here. So ki will be as it is. From right hand side I need to find out the smallest value, smaller value than 4. So as you can see, I found 2. Okay, kj. Now you need to check whether ki and kj has been exchanged with each other. No, they are not exchanged. So what I have to do? I need to swap them. Okay, so as you can see, they are swapped with each other. Fine. Now 4 will be placed to its proper position. So there is no right partition. So it has to process 2, 1, 3 only. So again you can see 2, 1, 3 is there. In right partition there are no elements. Similarly, it processes the partitions until we found all the data in sorted order. Right, as you can see, it is already in sorted order. Right, 1 and 3, only 1, 1 elements are there in both the partitions. So they do not require to sort at all. Okay, now next it will take the right partition of our original array. As you can see, 4, 1, 3, 2 is already processed and all the elements are sorted out. Now we will process the right partition, that is 6, 8 and 7. Okay, as you can see, there is no data on in left partition, only we need to sort 8 and 7. So now you can see our data has been sorted. Fine. So I hope you understand the implementation of quicksort algorithm very well. Have a look at one more time. As you can see over here, I am dividing my entire array into two parts, that is from lower bound to kj minus 1 and from kj plus 1 to upper bound, because the kjth element has been placed to its proper place. So it is not at all required to be considered in any of the partition, right? So that is why I am not considering kjth element. I am considering kj minus 1 element and kj plus 1 element. Fine. Instead of this static array, in this program you can take pointer also. From the main method we need to call this function only once, because from the main method we are passing an entire array, right? But whenever you process the partitions, at that time you need to call quick function for 2 times, because inside the quick function we are dividing our entire array into two partition, that is left partition and right partition. That is why we need to call quick function twice from the definition of quick function. Okay, so I hope you understand the implementation of quicksort very well.